Alright. Let's go do some stuff. So right now, the only thing that I still need to do that I know I need and want to do is to go find the way into the observatory on the south pole of Brittle Hollow. So let's start with that. Oops. Didn't get high enough. I broke my ship. Dang it. Okay, hang on. Everything hold on. Anything else? Let's put this on before I forget. Oh, the reason I couldn't take off again is because I had autopilot on still, and it was still trying to autopilot despite my being on the ground. How silly of it. Hello. Nothing to see here. I have certainly not already failed to take off, and I'm definitely not going to run into the frickin' moon and drop a bunch of frames in the process. It's fine. Okay. I think the ship's log has indicated that there are like 2 different ways to get to the observatory. And one of them is a path that starts at the gravity cannon, I think. And the other one, I want to say starts at the crossroads, but the gravity cannon's a lot easier to find from the surface, so that's my plan at this point. Yep, there it is. It's that here. Also, there definitely is a liftoff and landing camera that I just have kind of refused to use this entire time, so why start now, I say. Okay. I thought I slowed down enough. Oh well. Crossroads. I keep trying to press shift so that I can sprint, which is not a thing in this game, and I don't know that I'll ever get used to the fact that that's just not even an option. This is the way to the Southern Observatory. Great. I think I tried going this way before and I just, like, fell or something. I cannot remember. Is this gravity thing going to end unexpectedly on me? I think it might. And so I need to go into one of the other ones. I don't know if this is the right one. But I'm pointed south right now, which seems like a good sign. I probably shouldn't be too surprised that getting to the Southern Observatory is probably going to involve a certain amount of platforming, but it's fine. At least I'm not on Giant Steep where everything is, where the gravity's really difficult for that. Okay. Yeah, I'm like pretty sure this is the right way. It seems like there's no real way that it isn't, right? And then this one's gonna end too, so I'm gonna have to get caught by that one. Great. So I should be at the observatory now? Yes? No? It looks like no. Okay. There's trees over there, and there are gravity crystals over there, so maybe that's the path to the observatory. let's do that. Oh. Gonna have to go across. That's gonna be awkward. I don't like when I have to turn gravity off and on in ways that I do not understand. Oh, okay, never mind. That wasn't too bad. So that's down. Which means that I want to... Well, this is just not the way the path goes, so I guess this is the way the path does go. Okay, great. Found the trees, which is great. Oh, I also had a thought. This broken gravity crystal reminded me. I think one of the places on the surface here is called the gravity crystal, like, factory or refinery or something, which I find cool and interesting, that it's by the black hole. I wonder if the black hole is involved in the creation of gravity crystals, but what with all the gravity that's in there. Can I get over there with my jetpack? I can get up here. But never mind. Ugh, dang it. Okay. That didn't work. But I'm pretty sure that's the way to go. So I'm just gonna go back. What was that? Okay, let's try this again. Hello. Hello. I did not fall into the black hole. And you can't prove that I did, so... Come back here. Get. Okay. Okay, let's go back and try that again. And it looks like we have a minute before it finishes turning around and warping me over there. It's going pretty good. How's it going with you? I'm just trying to figure out how to get to the observatory, and I'm pretty sure I know how. I just think it's an execution issue. I fell into the black hole. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. While trying to get across a gap on the path that I'm reasonably confident will get me to the observatory. Yeah, Friday's great. I love it when it's Friday. Okay, let's... Oh. And I'm over here hitting the M key as if that's going to help me as well. I don't really... It is a long weekend, it's true. I hadn't even thought about that part. I'm like, my memory is such that I get to be kind of pleasantly surprised by those things come Monday a lot of the time, which will probably still happen. So this is putting me basically on the North Pole, which is not necessarily the worst, but I don't really know the best way to get back to the gravity cannon or the crossroads from here. And I don't really know what the path is from the crossroads, unless it's basically the same but from a different direction. But I'm going to go this way because I think I can see the dot that is probably the start of my path from when I landed my ship. So let's try that. Since the both of you are here, I don't know if either of you read my little message in the Discord channel, but I'm... Oh, did I? What is that dot? Oh well, I'm going towards it anyway. And you may have noticed from the title of the stream, but I'm planning on this being my final episode / stream of Outer Wilds. Largely because I thought about it a whole bunch and have come to the conclusion that even though there probably are multiple endings, or there probably is a true ending that is not the one that I got, I don't know if that is particularly attainable without me going and putting myself in situations that stress me out more than I want to deal with. Particularly if there's like a true ending, right? Like those sorts of things usually require a decent amount of the game to be completed in order to accomplish it. Or, you know, presumably pretty much all of it, right? Like, I think I would probably need to discover pretty much all of the secrets in order to do that, and with my adamant refusal to interact with Dark Bramble, that seems like it would be pretty difficult. Or perhaps impossible. I'm not really sure. So I'm not dead set on finding the true ending, if that is in fact a thing. Though I'm sure it is probably very cool and interesting. I will probably just look it up or something later so that I can find out what it's like. But Dark Bramble is 3 spooky, 5 me. Ah, god dang. I made it farther than that last time, I promise. There's a true ending with a lot of story. If you don't want to go to Dark Bramble, you basically found everything. Yeah, I feel that's kind of what I feel as well, other than this frickin' observatory that I apparently can't get to. Oh, it's spinning now, which is going to make it harder to land on. Oh well. And, like, maybe I'm just a little not good enough at the controls of this game to access the observatory in any reasonable amount of time, but I sure am gonna try, right? I'm pretty good at moving around in space and in my ship, but interacting with my jetpack is just a constant failure on my part. Which there's a lot of that needs to happen to get to this observatory, apparently. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that as far as the true ending is concerned. I feel like there are probably also other endings, just based off of the fact that it sure does let me take the warp core out of the Ash Twin project, which, if I had to guess, which I guess I don't really have to guess, I could just do it and try and see what happens, but if I took that out and then did not put it back and or didn't go through any like black hole generated by the Ash Twin project, which maybe they can't even make without the warp core, unclear. Actually, I don't know how unclear that is. I think that's actually just generally how that's gonna work. I think I would just die. I think that's how that goes. There are a few false endings, but there really is one true ending. Yeah. Does the true ending require futzing around in Dark Bramble? Recommend going to the Interloper for a little more story. I don't think you've done everything there, right? I'm not sure. Like, I could go check the ship log the next time I die. I certainly did everything that was obvious on there, but I guess I don't know if I've done everything. There was the fact that there was an entry in the recording or whatever that indicated that people had gone down into some sort of a crevice and had not come back, and I couldn't find the crevice in question. So I guess in that way there's probably still that, but I don't know how to find it. It didn't seem to be there. Like, if it's a comet, I guess it could just not be there anymore on account of them being kind of ice and stuff, and so maybe it's smaller than it used to be. But once I overcome this observatory issue, I can certainly go poke around in the interloper some more and see if I can figure it out. Or maybe it needs to melt. Sure, I guess. The orbit does take it pretty close to the sun now that you mention it. Like, most of it is pretty far away from it, so I guess it would make sense that if melting is a thing that needs to happen, god dang it, I can't do it. I'm physically incapable of using this jetpack. But yeah, if it's the case that it needs to be close to the sun in order for the crevice to be present, then it would make sense that it wasn't there when I was looking for it originally. Ow. Because, you know, more often than not, it's not near the sun. It's got a big old ellipses of an orbit. Stop. I'm just trying to go too fast right now. I don't even know if I can get to the observatory anymore. It's entirely possible that too much of Brittle Hollow has fallen into the black hole for me to get there now, but it's all just platforming practice for me, I guess. Is there any way to make the jetpack like more tolerable or like less requiring very specific timing on these button presses in order to activate? I guess there's probably there's like some settings I may be able to mess with. Let me controls, movement, jetpack boost. I mean, it's just the key bindings, I think. Using a controller, I think, sadly, yeah. Well. I want to make boost its own binding. I mean, I thought that the left shift was the way that it's supposed to be. Oh, but now I can do it, like, independently of my spacebar. Okay, that'll probably help. Yeah, shift is the button that I've been pressing to make it happen, but it's like before it would only go off if I, like, pressed it in combination with space. Which has been very silly, and like if I don't press them together with the exact timing that it wants, it just won't trigger. And I got pretty good at it for a second there, but it always takes me a while when I start playing this again to not be absolutely garbage at it. Oh yeah, just being able to start it whenever I want, that will help so very much. Brittle Hollow, I swear, if you collapse underneath me while I am walking back to try this for the, like, 4th time, I'm gonna... Sun's about to explode, man. Whatever. Oh. Bonk. Okay. That was me just not, you know. I don't know if I even care anymore. I'll just do it on the next reset, and you can thrust down also. Yeah? I mean, seems like a thing I should be able to do, right? But Son, whenever you're ready, you send me back. Okay. Yeah, you do have to go through Dark Bramble to get to the end. Yeah. Want to try to get to the Interloper? I could, though, I mean, I could try to get there if I can get back to my ship. I'm just not expecting to have the time to get anything else particularly meaningful done in this cycle. Unless you mean, do I want to try to get into the Interloper next rather than continuing to try to get to the observatory? In which case, I'll probably take off from Timberhearth and then kind of see where the Interloper's orbit is at. Like, if it is moving towards the sun or away from the sun. Because if it's, like, going the wrong way or something, I might try to do the observatory first. I meant the cycle. Well, I'm not an expert on when the sun goes exactly, and since I'm not in the Ash Twin project, I don't have an exact amount of time that we have left, but I feel like that's... Oh, is that the music? Yeah. We have roughly a minute, so we're not doing anything else this cycle, I feel. New jetpack controls are nice. Ow. I guess I could just slam myself into stuff really hard until I die. Which is just quite the grim statement that this game occasionally causes me to make. The snow is soft enough that it doesn't kill me if I run into it at high speeds. I'm assuming. I don't know. I can't tell why I'm sometimes getting enough momentum to get fall damage and why sometimes I'm not. It's not the snow, okay? Alright. Well. Oh. And my ship is also just over there now. I guess it got hit by a fireball or something. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So, I'm gonna talk about the game, like, philosophically, or, you know, what the heck is the meaning of the game anyway. And there's a lot of interesting shenanigans going on with it, right? Like, there's the time loop, there's the fact that kind of nothing matters as a result of the time loop. There's the fact that to the best of my knowledge, the ways to end the time loop are to functionally break space-time, which I don't know what the actual consequences of that are other than the fact that I think I just die. To die probably by just removing the warp core and not putting it back before the supernova happens. That one's just a guess on my part. Or to find the true ending, probably causing you to find the Eye of the Universe, whatever that actually does for you. And even in the in the two endings, in the one ending that I got and the other one that I'm assuming is out there, the only... I can't tell where that is. Map. It's pretty far out. I'm gonna go to Brittle Hollow first. So in the one I'm assuming is real and the one that I know is real, the only ways out are functionally death. Getting getting yourself out of the eternal loop. And for all I know, in the true ending, you may also die. Which feels very, you know, I don't know, nihilistic, kind of a bummer. I'm not sure if that's the message of the game exactly. If it is, that seems a little, I don't know, like it's kind of a bummer, I think. But I mean, there's obviously a lot of discovery going on. There's the Nomai, who had a kind of an admirable amount of curiosity and desire to learn stuff kind of as their main purpose, which is kind of neat. But then again, they also were willing to destroy the whole solar system in order to, you know, in the pursuit of knowledge. I'm not entirely certain if it would have destroyed everything if they had succeeded at their stuff, because based off of what they said, or at least based off of what at least one of them said, they could choose to end the cycle at any time, choose not to supernova the sun at any time with the sun station, which does make sense based off of how the memory statues work, or at least my understanding of them, where it's like kind of everything that happens in the loop hasn't really happened. It hasn't happened yet, so you have the opportunity to change it every time the loop starts again. So if they were doing it, they were only willing to potentially end the whole solar system in the pursuit of knowledge. But that's still, like, still not great, right? Not all of the Nomai seemed to agree with it. I specifically remember one of them being pretty vocally against the sun station as a project, due to the risks of it, right? It could, what if it all goes wrong? What if we do just blow up the whole solar system because we got something wrong? Or things just don't work the way we're expecting? But most of them were like, it's totally worth it if it means that we can find the Eye of the Universe. What's so special about the Eye of the Universe? Like, clearly it's important to them, but is it worth destroying everything? I mean, I don't think so. But I'm just some person. So what do I know? So, and I'm just talking at this point. Gonna try to make it over there. Okay, this is the farthest I've made it towards the observatory so far. Good job, me. So, like, being willing to go to such extremes in the pursuit of your goals, is that part of it? Is, you know, what's the game trying to tell me here? Like, at the beginning of the game, not the very, very beginning, but like shortly after the beginning of the game, as you figure out what's going on with the loop and the fact that you can't die and all this other stuff, it seems like what the game, or what the point, or what the goal is, is to find a way to stop the supernova, to save yourself and all of your fellow Hearthians from being wiped out. But, you know, as we learn that the sun station isn't triggering it manually, they didn't succeed at doing that. And the fact that it does seem like the sun is just reaching the natural end of its life cycle, that's not an option. like, best I can tell, unless the Eye of the Universe is some sort of a magical spaceship that will take all of us away to not here, I don't see any way that everything in the solar system doesn't get deleted. Which again falls into that category of like kind of a bummer. Like what am I doing all this for? What's anyone playing this game doing this all for if there is no way out that isn't like dying or finding the eye? And does finding the eye actually fix anything? Maybe it doesn't. I'm gonna read this. Kasava's construction yard has been using the cyclones on Giant Steep to lift orbital probe cannon parts into orbit, but one component was pushed down past the current that usually prevents anything from sinking. Spire and I are crafting a model to determine why this happened. An update, it's now clear that there are two different types of cyclone. Okay, what, big and small? Most cyclones on Giant Steep rotate clockwise. These are the cyclones Kasava typically uses to send components into orbit. There also exists a rarer type of cyclone that spins the opposite direction and pushes objects beneath the waters and below the current. Oh, interesting. My gratitude, Spire. Konoi is showing me your handiwork, and I'm intrigued by this secondary type of cyclone, but was it really necessary to build a model to tell me that? The model will be useful as we continue monitoring Giant Steep. Also, I very much wanted to make a model. I identify with Spire a little bit here. Neat. So that's cool information. If one were inclined to go beneath the current on Giant Steep, which I awfully am not, but now I know. I did make it. Yeah, I'm here now. See the cool models. Anyway, what was I saying? So yeah, like what the heck is the point? And maybe you do need to, see the true ending to get it, or whatever. So maybe I shouldn't commentary too hard. This is just that one place. On, what the point is, or isn't, on the thing. There's a lot at the end. It is sad, but also hopeful, but mostly sad. See, that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's more or less what I was assuming. Not, I'm not assuming a lot about it, but it's like everything seems to go to the it's kind of a bummer, man. I'm gonna read this now too. Oh no, this is just the conversation about them being beneath the current. Oh, wait a minute. I never did figure out what the difference is between the orange lines and the purple lines, and I'm starting to think that maybe it's based off of whether the Nomai who wrote it is here or is talking to them through the projection pool. Because I don't remember specifically how it showed up before, but I don't know that I remember ever seeing this much orange on it. I feel like the last time I read this conversation, which might just be me playing tricks on myself, that it was purple everywhere except for these two places, which were orange. I think it might be backwards now. Because this conversation is definitely happening. Like, I can't grasp the answer by looking through the projection pool. If I visit, will you kindly explain? That's clearly someone speaking who is not physically present here. So, I don't know if it actually matters. Oh, wait. Okay, so we're on Brittle Hollow, which is purple, and the Giant Steep projection stone, all the projection stones are in orange, so if they're speaking through a projection stone, I think that's what makes it orange. Cool. Interesting. I don't think that actually matters. The dialogue does not change, but it's neat. And I'm glad that I have decided that's how it works, even if that's not what it is. So anyway, I'm going to continue walking around and talking about my stuff. The boy told me there's an easy way to deal with the anglerfish if you're wanting to go to the true ending, but also makes sense if you don't want to, because Dark Bramble is just an anxious place. I literally don't even care about the if there's an easy way to deal with the anglerfish. If I have to be in a place where I think there might be anglerfish, even if I never see one, I hate it. I'm so upset. Like, even if they're not, there could actually not be anglerfish. I never saw an anglerfish when I was in Dark Bramble. I just am given to understand that they live there. I was just bumping around in the fog a little bit, being absolutely terrified, and I hated every second of it. And if I did see an anglerfish there, I would have so much worse opinions about going back there, which is saying a lot considering that I already refuse. I'm such a baby about anything that makes me feel like deep ocean or water or anything. Like, the fact that I've played as much of this game as I have is, oh, there's more words over here, is shocking to me, because being in outer space, generally speaking, feels a little bit like being in the ocean, which I hate. Oh, there's like several of these. Let's go away from the musings right now so I can read things before the sun explodes. How should our methods change as we continue our search for the Eye of the Universe? We know what the eye looks like thanks to the quantum moon, so what if we try to find the eye visually instead? Let's send out a probe. We'd need to build a probe launching mechanism and cover these long distances quickly. A cannon in orbit around a celestial body would circumvent the need to escape gravity's pull. Giant's Deep would be a good choice. It's furthest from the sun, so it would provide the best angles for launch, and it's moonless except when the quantum moon is visiting. Yes, let's build the cannon in orbit around Giant's Deep. Great. As we couldn't find the eye's signal using two different devices built for this exact purpose, we should discontinue this search method. The make thing that will locate it thingies, I'm assuming is what Privet is referring to here. I don't know. Mallow's idea is clever, but we have no idea where the eye is in relation to here. The probability of launching a probe to the correct direction would be absurdly small. I believe I have a solution for that problem. Have you spoken with Raimi and Pi about the technology they're developing? You know, if you're brute forcing everything with the time loop, it doesn't really matter how small your chances are of succeeding at a thing. I'm just saying. I'm going to read this first, then I'm going to start playing with these uppy-downy devices. What have we learned thus far in our search for the Eye of the Universe? Based on our knowledge of the quantum moon, we believe the eye is in orbit around this star system's sun. This would mean the eye is located within a finite, albeit enormous, range. Those of us on the vessel originally followed the eye's signal to the star system, but we were unable to warp to the eye itself. The locator we built on the Attlerock and the new, more sensitive locator we built here were both unable to detect any trace of the eye's signal. Hypothesis: the eye has stopped emitting its signal. Suppose the eye doesn't wish to be found. How could you suggest that? The eye's signal called out to summon us to the star system. I'm aware, I grew up hearing the eye's story, yet we're no closer to finding it here than you were when you first arrived here. I think I might have read this one before somewhere else. I can't remember. Just sometimes there's the same text in multiple places, and usually it seems like it's attached to projection stone, but I'm not sure if that's always the case. This is the Hourglass Twins, I believe. Oh, no, up, please. Up. Looks like something just exploded over there. And maybe also over there. And over there. Anyway. Oh. Yeah, it's the sun and the Hourglass Twins. Good job, guys. Is this just, Spire being like, I barely wanted to make a model again? Spire just likes making models, I think. Yeah. Brittle Hollow. That one was Timberhearth, I think. Timberhearth is the second planet from the sun, then? I don't know that I ever paid all that much attention to the various distances. Giant's Hollow isn't the farthest planet from the sun. Dark Bramble is, but I guess Dark Bramble is really dangerous and terrible, so it's the farthest reasonable planet from the sun. This model makes it seem like they do kind of know where it is, but maybe not. I don't know, it moves around a lot. It's not stable like the rest of them in there. Oh geez, yeah, I didn't see the Dark Bramble episode, so it makes sense that the possibility of anglerfish is enough. Nope, yeah. Like, I didn't see it either. Like, the main thing you need to know as the person who hasn't played this before and also didn't see that episode is that, like, pretty much the entirety of Dark Bramble is filled with extremely thick fog. So you can't see pretty much goddamn anything at any point, other than what is just like just in front of your face, and it's horrific. I hate it. For this acceptable planet. The fun thing about this game is that there's actually a whole other game as big as this one hiding in the solar system, the DLC. I don't think I have the DLC. I'm assuming it's paid DLC. Error, unable to determine orbit, no signal detected matching any known criteria for the Eye of the Universe. Yeah, it doesn't actually know where the Eye of the Universe is. Yeah, I might look into the DLC, though I don't know how much good it will do me if I already have, you know, hit walls with the existing game about things that I don't feel like engaging with. Does the DLC require Dark Bramble times? No, but it's much scarier. Okay, well, guess what? Guess what I'm not gonna play? It's the DLC. It is very cool and sexy of them to have created another additional game in the same set of space for people who are willing and or able to engage with things that are terrifying. But I shan't. So, good to know. So I don't just like buy a DLC that I just will never play. So cool. This is a neat observatory. I like it. And yeah, so everything's kind of a bummer, right? Everything's a little like, you know, no matter what you do, the sun is gonna go boom. And it's gonna kill absolutely everybody. And even if we knew how to have it, how to like a place that everyone could go where they would be safe from it, there's like legitimately, I don't think, enough time in a cycle to gather up everybody and get them there. Even if people believed us, which they largely don't. When you tell them like, hey, everything's about to blow up. Like there's Gabbro who knows but also doesn't really care. Gabbro has sort of come to terms with this. The boy tells me it has more traditional horror elements. Yeah, that sounds great for people who like that. and I'll let them have it. They can have all of mine. So yeah, everything's a bummer and we're all just gonna die, right? Like that that's like part of what I'm getting from here. And yet the game largely doesn't feel like it's trying to be a huge bummer, right? Like I've decided that it is a bummer. But you know, the game doesn't generally vibe like, oh man, doesn't everything suck? You know, there's still, up until the point where you figure out that there is no way to prevent the explosion of the sun, you know, generally have hope that through enough, I mean, is it okay if I spoil a few things so we can talk about it? Yeah, absolutely. Like, considering the fact that I am at the point where, like, I'm gonna, like, look up the ending, I'm well outside of, like, worried about spoilers territory, personally. And I'm very into having a conversation about it. I wanna know stuff, and I wanna figure out kind of, like, and I don't want this to sound insulting to people who are super into this game. I want to figure out why the heck so many people love this game. Like, I enjoyed this game. I'm having fun with the game. I think that the way that they tell the story and the narrative is very cool and interesting. And maybe I need to, like, know the true ending before I can, like, get it. But it's a solid, like, very good but not incredible game in my personal experience with it. Like, I've had a lot of fun. I think it's very good, but it does not get anywhere near the level that I expected, considering the amount of praise that people have for it. The amount of, the fact that so many people are like, oh, it's my favorite game, and you have to experience it for yourself because it will change your life, you know, sort of things. To the interloper? Yeah, probably. I don't think I can. As per usual, I don't think that I can get there this cycle super easily, but I'll try. I'll go towards my ship instead of continuing to walk in circles. The Interloper is definitely the next loop's assignment, if I don't get there this time. Where even is it? The Interloper, it's heading towards the sun, but it's pretty far out, so go back. Let's run towards the ship. But yeah, like, it seems like there's no real tone of dread, which also lines up with what you mean. Yeah, exactly. Like, the game seems hopeful. It seems like you're, you know, intended to believe that there is some sort of a way that you can fix things or save people if only you gain enough knowledge, which, you know, maybe is what the Nomai were thinking. Maybe that's what motivated them to go to such extremes to do this stuff. Is the message that you just shouldn't do that? You shouldn't be willing to do anything in order to fix the stuff? Is it that the stuff is inevitable, and that you need to just kind of accept it? Like, I'm suddenly remembering a thing. I don't remember the exact wording of it, but I do remember where to find it, so maybe I'll go there and see if I can do that before the sun blows up. But I believe it's Solanus, the Nomai, who's actually at the on the Quantum Moon, at the 6th location, that says something along the lines of, like, I used to be afraid of these things, but now I realize that that's just kind of how they are, right? And so maybe that's the point. Maybe Solanus is the one who actually gets it around here. Like, that could be it. Anyway, yay, so the ending is you making your way into the eye. Yep. Once you do that, there's about a 30-minute sequence with no puzzles. I won't spoil that because it's worth watching. Okay, I'll watch that in the future, probably later tonight after I'm done streaming. So yeah, you do make it into the eye when in the true ending, as one would probably expect. Bonk. I'm gonna see if I can make it onto the Quantum Moon where Solanus' shuttle is before the sun goes. See if I can find that exact recording from her. Her? I think Solanus is a her. Can't remember. Oh, convenient. The Quantum Moon is right here. 1 minute. We'll see if that's enough. It might be. Depends on if I find how long it takes me to find the shuttle. So if I come out here and I just kind of turn around a few times, I may be able to find it. There it is. Let me in. I'm here. After watching it wander the skies for so long, I'm about to stand for the first time on the Quantum Moon. As expected, my shuttle has landed at the moon's south pole. I will make the remainder of my journey on foot. We don't know why the Quantum Moon always welcomes its visitors on the South Pole, just that it is true. As a child, I considered such unknowns sinister. Now, though, I understand they bear no ill will. The universe is, and we are. I am ready. So there's... I remember when I read that for the first time, the line, the universe is, and we are, felt very profound. So I'm going to try to remember that line. More reading. History is that Nomai hear the eye again, but from multiple locations. They teleport to what they think is the eye, but it's actually an echo of the eye inside Dark Bramble. The vessel gets trapped in the Dark Bramble and they do not make it. Okay. Sad. Just the ones who go into Dark Bramble don't make it, sounds like. I mean, obviously other ones ran around and did some stuff here, but I guess they could have all gone into Dark Bramble in the end. right? Okay. Dark Bramble's a terrible place, and no one should go there. This is reinforcing my opinions on that. Okay, to the Interlopa. So yeah, I'm starting to get vibes of like that the part of the point, part of the message here, is acceptance of the inevitable, or the fact that, you know, you run around playing the game, you trying to figure out a way to stop the supernova, save yourself, save the people, save the solar system or whatever, and have to eventually come to accept that there is no way to do that, just acceptance of it, and maybe the certain amount of peace that comes with accepting that instead of fighting against it. Like, as much as it is kind of nihilistic to be like, you know, it doesn't really matter, I can just die and start the cycle over because it's more convenient, as I've done before. It does sort of match up with that theme, which again may not be the actual theme of anything. Kind of Buddhist / existentialist vibes. Yeah. So, and interestingly, now that I think about it, I commented fairly early on in this whole thing that the distances between things and the scale of everything in this solar system and in this game is very small compared to how things are in reality, or at least what we expect things to be as far as celestial bodies and whatever, the distances between them, and everything moves very fast, blah blah blah, whatever, and how that may be just a game mechanic, but it also could tie into the whole, like, we are just very small. We are very small when it comes to the scale of everything. And that, not even in a, like, we don't matter sort of way, but in a, like, but maybe in a way that is kind of we don't matter. Well, I shouldn't be jumping around on this. I'll go flying off into space and not be able to do the thing I came here to do. You know, I feel like it's like 99% likely that it is just a game mechanic, and that it is just that it would be ridiculous to try to do things on a realistic scale in this game, or in any game really. But also, like, everything is small in this solar system, and you know, the universe, not even the whole universe, but also just the sun, doesn't care that hard about things that are so small. It doesn't really matter what happens to anything in its orbit. It's just it's gonna happen, and it's not because it hates us or it's terrible or anything. That's just sort of how things work, and it's okay, even if it's scary. And even if people are going to die, and then, you know, you take it further out, and then on the scale of the universe doesn't care that hard that one sun blew up. So, oh, is the ice melting? Oh, God, no. Dang it. Okay, I just got grabbed by the sun off of the interloper. Apparently I need to get down into that crack sooner if I want to get down there. It looks like my ship has been grabbed as well. I didn't get grabbed like fully into the sun though. I panicked and started trying to fly away from it back towards the interloper, and now I've just made myself floating out in space. Alright, we're gonna fly into the sun. Back to the nihilism. Time to die, because it's more inconvenient for me to still be alive out here. Got stuff to do. But I'm not really dying, I'm just seeing one of the many possible futures in which I die. Also known as all of them, apparently. Except for maybe if I reach the eye, maybe I don't die. But ultimately I will die, even no matter what I do, right? Unless getting to the eye of the universe makes you immortal, which is also kind of a bummer. Just being immortal, especially if you're the only one. Unless that's the thing, no matter what happens, I'm still gonna like die of old age eventually, right? So, anyway. Yeah, maybe an exploration of entropy or how things are both finite and infinite. Yeah. Something. Like, there's definitely something going on here. There's some very interesting things to think about with all of this. But with that said, I still don't quite get the hype. Like I said, it's a good game. It's an exceptional method of storytelling. Gameplay is generally fun and interesting, and the discovery elements are great. And maybe I'm just don't really get it. Maybe this is just a me issue, but has not gripped me to the extent where I would rave on the internet about how incredible it is and how everybody needs to play it and how it's like life-changing and such. I'm certainly glad I played it. I'm glad that I played it in the format that I did. Interacting with people about it while going through the experience has, I think, improved it. But I feel like there's gotta be something that I'm not quite getting about it. Because as it stands, I don't think I understand why people are so into it. The fact that this universe is in the game is basically it. Heat death plays a big part at the end. Yeah, I'll bet. There it is. There's the little dot. Take me there. And also, it's like, the Nomai were this incredibly advanced civilization from forever ago, working on things and making technology that is so far beyond what the Hearthians are capable of at this point, and probably will ever become capable of, since the solar system's about to go. But I digress. And yet they're still gone. You know, nothing, no matter how cool anyone or anything or any civilization is, you know, they still go away eventually. Okay, this time I'm gonna do a Giga Brain move. This time I'm gonna go into the cracks, and stay there. So that if this ice melting is the key, which it seems like it might be, I think it seemed like it was starting to melt before I got caught in the sun gravity instead. Maybe we can watch the true ending on stream together. Sure. If one of you wants to find a good link to that, and put it like in the Discord or send it in a DM through Discord to me, we can do that. Aha! It is doing it. It's doing the thing. Let me in. Whee! Okay. This thing's gonna be ice physics the whole way down, isn't it? Dang it. For me, I did a lot of consecutive play sessions, and I think that had the effect of really immersing me in the world. Yeah, I mean, immersion is a big thing for me in games. I think, honestly, if anything hurt my immersion of this game, it was probably less that I was doing like semi-infrequent streams, and more of the fact that I very quickly internalized the, you're gonna you're gonna die, so it doesn't really matter what, like, no matter what you do, right? Very quickly. And that sort of thing causes me to rapidly, intentionally detach myself from the character. Because otherwise I'm just not going to do anything. I'm not going to do anything cool or interesting or whatever if I just know I'm going to die in the game. I have to start behaving less like I'm playing, like I am the character, and more like I'm playing a character in a video game. And that's just how I function, I feel. Photo mode. Okay, so the bat is in there. Yep. Let's go this way. It's not ice physics anymore. That's nice of them. Oh, someone installed a tree here. Well, that's not helpful. I don't know which way to go. Receiving much stronger energy readings now that we're beneath the crust. Whatever it is must lie somewhere below, closer to the comet's center. And I'm starting to think it's more dangerous than we realized. Clary, can you hear us? Yes, but your voices are faint. I fear we will lose communication entirely if you continue any deeper. Keep the shuttle warm for us, Clary. We'll return the moment we identify the source of the energy readings. I understand, but be cautious, both of you. Looking for a clip. Great. Okay, so there's badness down that way. And that way. So we're not going that way. Oh. It seems like there's some in here, but the scout actually seems like it managed to avoid going into it. So that's cool. You might go down there. Stop. And there's badness immediately right there. Okay. Well, let's try going this way and doing it slowly because it looks like it's about to ice physics me again. Yep, there's the hole, the bad hole. Don't go in that hole. Oh, no. I said don't go in the hole. Okay, well now I'm in here. Oh, there's another tunnel down here. It goes... Okay, it doubles back on itself. Okay, bad on the right. Looks okay so far on the left. Let's go that way. Wait, is this the way I just came from? Yeah. Hang on. I think maybe I need to go through the upper path. I like how wide this is. Oh. I can't slow down. I can't slow myself down any more than I already am. We're just going. We're going places. Putting some very mean slopes in here that mean you just start going if you get pretty much any speed. There's a bunch of ghost matter in here that's trying to kill me. Oh, yep. My camera clipped outside of the interloper a little bit. It's fine though. Oh, who's there? I think that's a body. Ooh. Interesting. It didn't seem like there was any ghost matter in here. Maybe. Now I'm paranoid. Oh, there is some. There's some that way. Okay, but in this main chamber, it seems safe. I'm gonna put it away. Spherical stone casing here seems to be the source of the energy readings. No, rather the source is what's within the stone. I'm detecting some form of exotic matter. The stone is muting our energy readings. They should be 10 times what we're seeing at least. Pi, I don't think we want this matter interacting with us. As far as I can tell, direct contact with it would almost certainly be fatal. I've never encountered anything like this casing, but it's all that's protecting us from what's inside. Worse still, this matter is disturbingly volatile. Pi, whatever the matter inside the stone casing is, it's more than just profoundly unstable. It's under tons of pressure. Look at this density scan. I've never seen anything this tightly compacted before. What is this? This is orders of magnitude worse than I'd imagined. If the stone were to rupture, the lethal matter within this would rapidly expand, completely blanketing the star system almost instantaneously. And the pressure is still building as the pressure is still building as the comet. No, go back. As the comet approaches the star system. Return to the shuttle right now. The rest of our friends need to know they're in terrible danger. Leave your equipment and run. What are you doing, Pi? The more we know about this alien matter, the better our chances of survival. I will learn what I can here. Go warn the others. Maybe they can construct shelters somehow. Now, Poke. Interesting. So this seems very, very much like this is the source of ghost matter in the solar system. And if what they were saying about this whole thing is true, that it would blanket the whole solar system if anything happened, if it ruptured, which it sure does look ruptured to me, then that would probably just kill all of them, right? It's like actually a really pretty direct parallel almost to the supernova, except it seems like they discovered it maybe way too late. Like, this recording was between two Nomai, seemed like. And there's one body here, and there's one body out here. Which means, I think, that, yeah, there's one body here. Which means that they didn't succeed. Do we want to totally skip the Dark Bramble in the clip? Also, is profanity okay? I'm fine with profanity. I think I'm okay with watching the Dark Bramble to some extent. Maybe. I don't know. How bad does it get? Like, I don't know if you're a good judge of that, because I don't know how, like, I'm clearly so sensitive to it, right? So maybe do skip the Dark Bramble part, or at least the part that involves navigating through that fog, and if there are any anglerfish, I swear to God. But yeah, it seems like these two did not get out in time, did not successfully communicate to the rest of the Nomai that this was about to happen. Which makes some sense because I hadn't really thought about it until just now, but I don't think we've ever seen any of the Nomai text referencing ghost matter. This is the first time it's been brought up. It seemed like they didn't know about it. The stuff we learn about ghost matter is basically just at the beginning, I think, on Timber Hearth, where the kid's throwing stuff into it and being like, ghost matter is super dangerous, and I think he mentioned that it evaporates. They also don't call it ghost matter, it's true. But none of their texts seem to, it would make sense that they don't call it ghost matter, right? Like just having different words for things in different languages. But they refer to it as some kind of exotic matter here. And I don't remember seeing anything else that referred to something that I would think could be them referring to ghost matter either. So there's that. So it seems like maybe the thing just exploded shortly after that recording was made, and ghost matter just went across the solar system, and that's why the Nomai are all dead. Like, all of the bodies that we find of Nomai are either in spacesuits like this, in which case we can't see what the body actually looks like, it's mostly just the suit, or they're skeletons. And they mostly seem to be skeletons that were maybe just going about their lives. I would go so far as to say they were probably just going about their lives, because they didn't know. They didn't know that they were all about to just die. Which is, again, a fun, cool parallel. Fun is the wrong word. It's a cool parallel to what's going on with most of the Hearthians right now, who have no idea that they're about to get supernovaed and such. There's, in fact, a hilariously direct parallel of there are like 2 Nomai who know that it's going to happen. And that's it. And there are 2 Hearthians who, I guess if you count Chert, there's probably 3. But Chert mostly seems to figure it out as it's about to happen, as the sun is expanding, and it's like, this is just about to occur. But there are 2 of us who know for sure because of the time loop, the memory loop, the whatever, Gabbro and I. Oh, hey, the quantum moon's right there. Goodbye. Yeah. Two who know, though Gabbro doesn't really seem to care that hard, at least not anymore. Maybe they used to try to do something about it and have since given up. Unclear. But the two Nomai down there sure did seem to care pretty hard about trying to find out what they could and try to save the rest of the Nomai. So that's a neat bit of insight into what actually happened to the Nomai. And interestingly, I do remember in the Ash Twin project, the thing at the end, the bit of text at the end of the very long wall of text, was one of them mentioning that a new comet had entered the solar system, and that they wanted to go look at that, basically. And that was what was causing them to sort of stop trying to do the Ash Twin project. And then there was nothing left after that. No more updates after that. Love Point Crow, good choice. Cool. Let me see. I may have to mess with OBS a little bit to get the display to do what I would like it to do. It's legit 35 minutes long. I don't know if I have 35 minutes. If I'm being real here. Usually I would plan on stopping in about 10 or 15 minutes from now, and normally I wouldn't have too much of a problem going over it a little bit, but I am quite hungry. So what if instead of watching it on stream, even though you went all the way out of your way to find that clip, which I do appreciate, what if we all just watch it individually? Not even all of us. I guess you don't need to because you like just watched it / already know the ending. But those of us who have not seen it can watch it and maybe get in voice chat and discuss it on like Tuesday or Friday next week when stream would normally be, but will not, because I think we're done with Outer Wilds at this point. I'll noodle some more on the philosophy and stuff surrounding this game, because there's something there. There's something going on here that I haven't quite grasped yet. Yeah. Book club, stream club, story club, Outer Wilds club. Yeah, so let's do that, and we'll get together and talk about it. Not right now. And hey, I got to the observatory and I played around in the interloper, which were kind of the goals presented to me. So neat. Great. Well, yeah, I'm glad I did. I don't want it to sound like I don't think this is a great game, because it is. And I think part of the problem is that I suffer very strongly from like stuff being overhyped and it being not physically possible for things to live up to the hype. And I think that's the biggest issue, is that if I had just sort of found this game and started playing it, or if some people were like, yeah, it's pretty good, you should give it a shot, I think you'd like it, rather than claiming that it was earth-shattering and world-changing and whatever else, then I would probably have not set such unrealistic expectations for it. So a lot of that probably is on me. But also, now that I have not reached the end per se, but have played enough of it to probably understand the ending when I watch it, hopefully, and am no longer like aggressively avoiding spoilers, I can watch one of the like a billion video essays that people have on the subject after doing the ending and whatnot, and not be like, oh my god, it's gonna spoil my experience with Outer Wilds, it's terrible. So that might help. We'll see. But yeah, again, it's still like probably like 8 or 9 out of 10 as far as like story-based and storytelling type games go, in my opinion. For me, at least. And, you know, the fact that there are some things in the game that I just refuse to engage with because they are too spooky for me, such as being under the current in Giant's Deep and all of Dark Bramble. That's probably also causing me some amount of, this isn't as good for me as it is for some other people, probably. So, yeah. I'm looking forward to no longer stressing about avoiding spoilers for the game and not feeling like, you know, I'm gonna somehow ruin the stream experience or whatever if I do find one by accident. So, great. I appreciate both of you being here. It's been fun. We'll do our homework and eat dinner and stuff and reconvene at a later date. Have a great night, both of you.